Hello, you're looking live. The IFS podcast is back with a new live review. I am Bearcat. We're Bill, if you know me. Not as well as people know me as Bearcat. That's fine. Bill or Bearcat work. And I'm joined once again by my good friend, Ed Grohl. Ed, say hello.
Hi, everybody. Good to be back here on the YouTubes.
Yes. These are fun. We did a recording last week, which we're still in editing. It was with Joel Codner from West Palm Brewing Company down in Florida. He was on the show before. It was good to have him back. And we got some exciting news for you. And we got some interesting beers, I hope. And we also have Ed with a very sweet Atlanta United kit. It's a good look, man. Good luck.
Yeah, I love this jersey. I got it for Christmas. I couldn't be happier to rep the ATL in a soccer jersey. It's awesome.
Yeah. What player do you have on there?
Martinez.
Ah, that's an easy pick. That's good.
It was probably the most available, I would assume.
All right, let's crack this one open.
What is this one? Which is what I was going to ask you before we.
We're going to start off with the big boy, the Sam Adams NE IPA. This is brand new. Just hit the market around here in Harrisburg, and I'm aggro pouring the fuck out of that one. I'll tell you what, this is probably the first Northeast IPA I've had in a while that when I cracked the top open, it didn't spray all over my computer. I feel like a lot of breweries overfill their cans maybe a bit, but I've got some thoughts about this can, and I got some thoughts about this beer. I did have one of these earlier. This week
is the first for me, even though I've had 3 in the house since I think November, and they never got drank.
They never got drank?
What? No. We'll talk about that off air.
Yes, we will. All right, so we got lots of big news to report.
We should make them wait a little bit at least.
Should we? Well, first, I just want to announce I am not a candidate for the Pitt basketball coaching position, and I will not be accepting any offers or considering being the coach for the Pitt Panther basketball team. Just want to put that out there.
What has happened to that team?
They have fallen off a cliff. I mean, they are in really bad shape. It's just embarrassing.
It seemed like just a little while ago they were getting head coaches poached all the time because they were going so far with, not spectacular talent, but playing well and always in the tournament and playing well there. Just, man, what's going on down there?
You know what? They didn't respect Jamie Dixon. They left the Big East for football. That was a Big East team. It was designed to be a Big East team. And they went to the ACC, and they can't hang in the ACC, and they can't recruit in the ACC. And it's killed the team. And you know what? Pitt's got a ceiling. It's got a ceiling that they've really respected. And they've got a problem. Now they can't get a coach, and they're going to probably have walk-ons playing next year. It's going to be a real mess. I don't know what to say. I really don't. It's a real problem. It's a real problem. But that's where we're at. So, hey, if you're in the live chat, if you're watching live, let us know. Jump in there. Of course, I just closed that window like an idiot. And let's talk about this beer. It's got the typical 16-ounce can. It's not a wrapped label, but it's designed to look like one, right?
Yeah, I like how they kind of made that faux small brewery type look to it.
Yeah,
I do dig this label though. I think the fonts are great. I love the color of it. I really like the design of it. I think this is well done packaging.
Yeah, I think it's really well done. I think the faux wrap is probably what I find most intriguing. I found this sitting on a shelf, $10.99 at a brewery, not in a cooler. I'll tell you what, the color on it's pretty good. I think it should be a little bit hazier. It's not quite completely opaque. it's got a fantastic, nice head on it, which is really rocky and has great retention. The nose on it is fruity as hell.
Yeah, it's really, really fruity. The colors do check all the boxes. Now, it's not quite as viscousy as some of the more, I guess, expert New England style IPAs that we've had, but it's pretty good. I got to give a big brewery like Sam Adams props for hopping on a bandwagon here. This on initial taste, this actually is pretty decent.
Yeah, I think that this is, I think this is almost there. It is really good. I like it a lot. I think it's a well-made beer. I have had one of these before. You're right. The mouthfeel is just not there. It's not as viscous. It's not as creamy, I guess, or velvety. It's a silky smooth beer. It really is. But it lacks that deep body that you really expect from the style.
Yeah, but when I pour this in the light, I really love the color of it. I think that's fantastic for any beer. I enjoy this color and the head retention on that's great. That's a magazine ad style looking beer right there.
Yep.
And in honor of our little road trip this weekend, I am drinking out of Sealands Grove pint glass.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we're gonna be at Sealands Grove on Saturday. We'll be there at least by 1:00, hopefully. And I'm looking forward to it. I always like getting out to Sealands Grove. I don't get there as often as I should. This is gonna be Dave's first time there.
That's unfucking believable to me. There's so many people in this area that consider themselves beer people that don't even know that place is there.
Yep.
It's unreal to me. And I recommend it to anybody with 2 ears or 1 ear if you have 1 ear. But I'm like, it's a 50-minute trip, if that. On a good day, you're just flying up there, and it's a great place to go have a couple beers, have a great lunch, and just come back to the Berg.
Yeah, it really is a great place to visit. The beers there are fantastic. Sometimes you get there and you'll find something really special, like a really great fruit lambic. Their lambics are just unbelievable. I really love them.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they still have some of the raspberry on that they usually do. That's a winter beer, but we're a little late in the year for that right now. So,
yeah. Hey, in the chat, Nicole, always nice to have you. Josh, to you. I know you don't like my pit opinions all that often, so we'll try to keep those to a minimum. And let us know what you're drinking. So. Back to the Northeast IPA. The great thing about this is it was $10.99 for a 4-pack. We regularly are paying $16, $18, $20. That's retail for a 4-pack of Northeast IPA. 20's always been hard for me to swallow. But at $10.99 for this, is this 80% as good as some of the more sought after New England IPAs? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't think you can complain about any of that. This is decent. This is really good drinkable stuff. Doesn't feel like it's going to blow your palate out too much either. Like some of the other ones kind of kill you there, but no, this is good.
Yeah, I mean it's well done. As I overpour my glass. Ooh. I'll tell you what. I will say this. I think this beer is highly recommended. I think it is really good. I think it's well done. I think it's interesting. I think it's fantastic that they think it's stable enough in order to put out there. By the way, this was canned. It just says May. It's good till May, I guess. May 2018. Doesn't have a born on date. I bought it in March, May. That's a short shelf life. Hey, it works. It wasn't in the cooler. It doesn't seem to have affected the beer in any way. I'll tell you what, $10.99. It's hard to beat.
It's pretty good. Are you drinking out of one of those chopped off can glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Can I explain to you how much I despise those glasses?
Why do you hate those glasses? Because they don't stack.
Well, that is definitely one part of it. Second part of it is when I drink out of them, I feel like I feel like it's going to cut the ends of my mouth like a piece of thin pizza. When you eat it too fast, you cut the sides of your mouth, and I just hate the way those glasses feel. I can't
Really?
stand them. Yep.
Oh, I love them. I love them. The one knock is they don't stack. That's a problem. You know, it just, your beer glasses should be able to stack, except for like your really nice ones, and this goes in my really nice pile.
Yeah, I wish I could have a couple of those have an accident in my kitchen, but I just do not like them at all.
Oh yeah, this is an East End Brewing Company one, and the reason why I picked that tonight is Gratitude Day is Saturday, and they're going to be releasing their 2017 Gratitude. It's 2017 because they try to make it as confusing as possible. It is dated for the year they brew it. They're also releasing cans of their bourbon barrel aged Gratitude, which is fantastic. 4 packs of that. And then they're going to have about, I think, 250 individually signed, numbered, and wrapped. They went with the old paper wrapping for bottles of Gratitude. They got 250 of those. And those are going to go very quickly. People are going to be snatching those up. Gratitude, one of the best beers I've ever had. And I'm hoping that I have a family member picking me up a couple bottles this weekend. It's always good to have that. If you have not listened to the Scott Smith episode of the IFS podcast, really just go back a couple of episodes. He gave probably one of the best interviews we've ever had, and he talks all about Gratitude. It's really good.
Yeah, he was a hell of a time. Really, really, really cool dude, and really persevered through some down years for craft beer in Pittsburgh when it was pretty bleak, and he made it to the other side, and now is working with some of the young bucks out there. He does a real good job. He's been there forever. He knows the ropes, and good for him. And I've had, thanks to you guys, I've had a couple hits of that Gratitude of varying degrees, and boy, is that good.
It's so good. So good. All right. I think we made the people wait long enough.
All right, go ahead and do it. You know more of the information than I do, so go for it.
All right. I am like absolutely just tickled about this. So we have a Harrisburg Beer Week event. We're going to have an event. It's us with Stouts and Stilettos putting together a live podcast. Really, it's a panel. We will be recording it, and you can listen to it later, but we'd really like you to come listen to it live because we've got a great guest. We got Greg Alva. I'm going to screw up his name. Avalo. God, that's embarrassing. He's the founder of Untapped, one of the co-founders, and he's coming to sit on the panel and talk with us. Tierney Pomone is going to be there from Stouts and Stilettos. And Jeff Kupko, who's a friend of the show. He's been on a couple of times. And he's going to come and give us a talk. And I'm going to moderate with Ed and Dave. And it's $10 to get in. That $10 all goes to the Harrisburg River Rescue. We don't make any money off this. We just want you to come hang out with us. So $10, come listen to us. And then there's going to be beer there from Pizza Boy and Trogs. You can drink beer. It's at Startup Harrisburg, which is the communal workspace right there in the middle of downtown. It's a great space. I've been there a couple of times just to walk through and check it out. Beautiful space they're going to give us. I'm really excited about it. Thank you to Startup Harrisburg. Thank you to Greg. Thank you to Untapped. Thank you to Stouts and Stilettos because they're helping us with the ticketing. Thank you to Harrisburg Beer Week. And thank you to you because we want you to come. So please, 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 we're going to throw a link at some point here in the chat, and you can go buy a ticket. $10. It all goes to Harrisburg River Rescue. And, it's a great organization. They need the money. And you have a bunch of beer and come hang out with us and have a good time. And maybe we'll learn a couple of things about social media, Untapped, which, look, we all use it. It's a great app. It's been part of my craft beer experience for a long time. And I want to listen to the guy who founded it all tell us, what he thinks of it, where it's going, where it's been, and and what it means within craft beer. And yes, Nicole, this was an idea you had. Thank you for your help.
It's Greg Avola, and I do, there you go. I was just going to let that sit out there for a while, but just to reiterate, it's fun having an event like this for somebody who started an app that just caught on and did really well at Startup Harrisburg, where you can go and have a workspace and run your own thing. It's going to be really neat. Hope to entertain everybody. You'll get to see me grill them about various badge issues that I have. Hopefully nothing too bad, but we're gonna have some beer there for everybody. I think $10 is pretty reasonable, and we'd love to have a good turnout. If nothing else, just come see me be an idiot for a couple hours. That'll be worth a while. But it should be a really cool event. I'm looking forward to learning a lot of stuff about the process and how he got everything off the ground. All the beer stuff that he's gotten into probably from the app. That's probably swept him away on all these magical trips and everything. And I think it's going to be some really cool insight. And then, there may be something after, I don't know, but yeah, we're really looking forward to it. So we'll get all the information out there for you.
Yeah. I just threw the link into the chat there. Go buy your tickets, and then bring your friends. I would love nothing more than for this to sell out. IFS podcast is free. This webcast is free. And we've never asked you for a dime. If you want to support the podcast, support Harrisburg Beer Week and the Harrisburg River Rescue by buying a ticket to this event. That would be the great way to support this podcast. All right. If you have any questions about the event, throw them in the chat. We'll answer them at some point as we go along. All right, let's wrap up this Sam Adams New England IPA. All right. Man, I'll tell you what, the nose on this really is, I think, dead on. Fruity, a little bit citrusy, very tropical. It's very sweet in the nose, almost sugary, but I need one last pull on that. It's the one knock against this is the body. It's just not viscous enough. Like Ed hit on that right away. And when you take your first sip, that's the one thing that you're like, it just doesn't have enough body. But it's silky smooth. It's easy drinking. It's got incredibly low bitterness. It's sweet without being cloying. And it hits a lot of the right notes. This isn't as dynamic as some of my favorite Northeast IPAs, but it's damn close. This is like 80-85% of like some of the best IPAs in my opinion. It's that last 20 to 15% and always that last 5%. Those are the hardest things I think are to achieve. Those are the hardest hurdles to get over. But then you realize this is $10.99 for a 4-pack, and it's at least shelf stable enough to sit out and not be in a cooler and deliver all this. And you know what? You add that all together, and I think price is a big part of this for me. I'm going to give it an 8. Actually, I'm going to give it an 8.5. There you go.
Wow, big number from Bill there. First, I'd like to point out that they are using the independent craft brewer label there. Sam Adams we're pushing the definition there a little bit. More power to them. I know that they're still considered microbrew by the rules or whatever, so I'll shut my trap. I really like this. I think it's fruity, and it doesn't have that. It doesn't weigh you down as much as a lot of the ones that we drink. Like some of those Veil beers that's an undertaking, to get through one, and that's like I'm going to watch a movie and maybe drink too. This is a little bit more on the drinkable side, and I think that's because some of the viscosity is out of it. I love the color. I love the smell of it. And if you took this can and took the word New England off, I would say this is a good IPA altogether. I wish there were more kind of like this that were just like this as an organic thing, but I think it's really good. I would drink another one definitely if I had one, and I'd give it an 8. I'm right there with you. I'm a half step behind, only because I think I could interchange this maybe with another style of IPA that's not necessarily New England, but I mean, it's really good and drinkable. I'd say for the price, you're not going to beat it. I didn't know what you paid for it. These just were magically dropped off like a baby from a stork on my doorstep during the snowstorm. So, I'm happy to have had it, and I think it's real good stuff. So, thank you. And this is go get it.
Yeah, I agree with all that, and I will also say it's 6.8%, and you don't pick up any of that. It drinks much lighter than that, so it's good. All right, we have two other beers from a brewery out of Phoenixville that I've never had anything from, so that should be all new.
So I have had a couple because they made a quick tap round here in Harrisburg when they first came out. They must have made a big push because they showed up kind of everywhere at once, and then they disappeared real quick because everyone drank the beer was the gist of that. But
yeah, which one do you want to do first? You pick. Because we got two. And this is from Stable 12 Brewing out of Phoenixville. We have a West Coast and then another one. Which one are we doing, Ed? I'm going into the official cooler of the Bearcat Hollow, the Batman lunchbox.
I'm going to say Wild West Coast style IPA because I think that this has become a kind of forgotten IPA tradition, the West Coast. So I'm kind of excited to see their take on it.
Yeah, cool. Let's do that. All right. Crack this bad boy open. Yeah, easy pretzel. You missed the announcement. We talked about it. We said nice things. We put the link in the show notes. Sorry. But we'll repeat it for all those who showed up late. Hey, Stable 12, Wild West Coast style IPA. This is out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. And this is a wrapped can. It's got the nice sticker on it. And you know what? I like the look of this can. 7.8%, 106 IBUs, which remember when 100 IBUs used to be a real thing?
Oh yeah, that was like you were going pretty crazy with the stuff.
Yeah,
now it's an afterthought.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pick this up on the camera, but there is a ton of stuff just floating in this bag.
Yeah, there's a lot of floaties in this bag. Well, if you can see past the constellations on this pint glass,
yeah,
they're in there.
It is just full of floaty little things. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess we're gonna find out.
Well, it does on the bottom of the can say unfiltered 11818.
So 11818, that's still pretty fresh.
Yeah, we're in the wheelhouse. I mean, they really went all out here too with the from barn to brewery, handcrafted in Pennsylvania, independent. What other slogans can we yell at you here?
From barn to brewery, I don't understand that. I mean, I understand what farm to table is supposed to mean, but from barn to brewery, I don't know. I guess it's just the tagline they want to use.
They probably locally source all their ingredients from local farms out that way.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's lots of farms in Phoenixville. Isn't that all just, people trying to get as far away as possible from Philadelphia would still have it be commutable? All right.
Nose on this is weird.
Oh boy. This one is weird. I don't know what's going on here.
I will say I've had their double IPA on tap and it is really damn good.
Yeah. Ugh. This is weird. I don't know. Someone's complaining about our dirty glass. Like, those are constellations on his glass. That's not dirty. That is a weird glass you got there, Ed. Your mic's muted, so no one can see it.
It's educational. They're constellations, actually. It was one of the few ironically clean glasses. That's not the bubbles going up the side of the glass. That's actually just the design of the glass itself. So I apologize, Mike, but oh look, Orion.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see what they have to say about this one. From their website, try to find another East Coast brew that can produce this much West Coast flavor. We dare you. Okay. Copious amounts of Simcoe and Citra collide with Chinook bittering hops to complement the pale and Vienna malts. This creates that quintessential flavor that we all come to know and love from West Coast IPAs, only we're doing it on the East Coast! Exclamation point. Okay. They do have a nice website.
I pick up a lot of like a burnt caramel type of flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a little bit of that there.
Or like burnt grains with some caramel in it. It's really strange.
It is very strange. I'm having trouble pinpointing what's going on with this beer. And sometimes I find that to be really intriguing and interesting. And right now I'm just finding it to be a little bit bizarre. I don't know.
This reminds me of a beer that I tried recently within the past like month or two, where I tasted it out of the fermenter and it was explained to me as an IPA. And I said, that's supposed to be an IPA. They said, yeah. I said, well, they should just call it an ESB, put it out there and call it a day.
Was that the Hoppily yours?
I forget what it was. I don't know what the name is, but it just coming out of the fermenters, you couldn't get any hops. And I was like, this just tastes like an English style brown or, something to that effect. And I was like, and this kind of has that, the hops don't come out to you at all in this. It doesn't have that overly fruity West Coast vibe with a little bit of malt to it, not too much.
Yeah. This is West Coast. I'll say that. I think it's got a proper bitterness to it. I just feel like maybe the hops are kind of not working together. Maybe the Chinook has taken over. When I think of Simcoe, I think of like an earthiness, maybe that cat boxy flavor we talk about a lot. I'm not getting that. I think that's kind of all been lost. And West Coast, I expect a lot of piney flavors or dank.
I would say sculpin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what I think of when I think of a West Coast. I think even Green Flash years ago was making a real good West Coast IPA.
Racer 5.
Oh, another great one. Yeah, there you go. It's hard to put Pliny in there just because they're so good and they're kind of their own beast. But
yeah. I feel like Racer 5 is a beer that I miss. We don't see it out here that often. And we used to get it here all the time.
Yeah, it's another one of those beers that just kind of vanished.
It just didn't make it. And out here on the East Coast, released in Pennsylvania, I just can't find it. It really bothers me. The Hoi Polloi on Untapped have this at 3.74. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm really having trouble placing this one. This is a tough beer for me.
You'll appreciate this. I got told that a 3.75 someone told me, well, you gave that a bad score, and I gave a beer a 3.75. I looked at it, I was like, I gave it a 3.75. I was told that was a bad score by somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what a bad score is on Untapped. I think a bad score is anything below 3.
I think 3 should be the median point, and then you're getting better. I think over 4, it's got to be something like real good.
Yeah, I agree. Easy P is in the chat, and he says that you can get Racer 5 anywhere else in PA, just not here due to local distribution. There are way too many breweries that we've burned out with local distribution around here.
He will never pass up a chance to blow that shit up, will he?
Yeah, he won't. That's low hanging fruit for Easy. He just.
I'm going to put this ball on the tee. Let's see if he takes the bait.
Kind of disappointed he's not jumping in on the show here. I would love to know what he thinks of this New England IPA, and we're at least going to find out soon. So when we go out to Sealands Grove, I'm gonna slip him a can of this and make him tell me what he thinks. He believes himself the arbiter of New England IPAs, and in some ways, hate to admit this while he's watching. That's kind of true. I do trust his judgment a lot on this style of beer, but God, I hate admitting that. So
mine was Larry Bird. So I've been in it from day one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he cares about this style more than probably anyone I know. So I do trust him on it. But still, fuck him.
It's gonna be weird when the crowd moves on and he's like, "Hey, remember me?
No,
I'm back here."
The pet rock is still cool.
When we circle back around to English style, whatever. That's gonna.
I'll tell you what. I've been standing there, demanding lagers, and what I keep seeing are lagers popping up, and I'm excited about it for this summer. Part of the reason why I was excited for lagers is I like these spring, my box and Marzens and Hell's Box that we're seeing, and everyone's bringing out a Mexican lager, which, okay, that's cool. I'm excited about that, and I think we're going to see some more traditional styles. We're going to see SBs. No, we're going to see brown ales. No, I think it's hard to sell a brown ale.
It is. They're just too normal.
Yeah.
It's tough to put panache on a brown ale.
No one wants a bready, easy drinking, quaffable, sessionable beer like a brown ale. They'd rather just slam some light lagers. Okay.
My first homebrew was a brown ale.
That's a good place to start. A lot of people start there.
Allison Hill Brown Ale, we called it. Yeah.
Allison Hill Brown Ale.
That was probably 2003, I think, way back in the day.
Yeah.
We called movies talkies.
Yeah. I switched up the glassware. I have used this one before on the podcast, I think. This is the new Trogs Glass 2018 for their tour. And it has all the elements of a beer: water, barley, hops, and yeast. It's a nice glass. And for $5, you get a great tour. It is really a good tour. Pretty much every kind of brewery tour is kind of the same, but this one's really good. They have good people doing it, and you get a free glass, which is really nice. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's nifty.
Yeah. The $5 is worth the glass alone.
Unless it's like a super small brewery where you can just go and talk with the brewer and be like, "Oh, how'd you start? And what'd you start on? Sapco system or whatever." I could give two shits about brewery tours. And I know that that's a horrible thing to say. When I was a little younger, I got all geeked up, and then I realized there's the same damn thing. Just one's bigger than the other.
Yeah. They kind of do all run together. There's a certain sameness to them all. Yeah.
Now in New Jersey, to get into a tasting room, you have to take an educational, it's an educational something. So you have to take the tour before they can allow you into a tasting room of any kind. So I got to take the tour of Carton Brewing when I was out there. And the guy goes, "Okay, did you see it?" And I go, "Yep." And he goes, "Head on up." I'm like, "All right." It's very nice.
Nice. All right. Let's rate this one. Of course, I got to finish because we got 3 beers, but I only brought 2 glasses. So you got to go while I finish this one. You're up.
Oh shit! I didn't have anything written.
We never have anything written.
I know, that was the joke. Oh my god, I won! I didn't even write a speech. Then I get up there and the get off the stage music's hitting. This beer I cannot put my finger on. It is very strange that it has so much stuff in it. I mean, I guess they right up front tell you it's unfiltered. It has a sort of a burnt malt, grainy flavor to it. I don't get a whole lot of hops coming out. I don't think it's bad. I think just coming from one beer to the other, it kind of gives it, and that's why we should do a little bit more similar style beers every once in a while. But I can barely put my finger on. If you handed this to me and said, "What style is this?" I think IPA might make top 5. I would run out of guesses, I guess. It's not bad. It's drinkable. It just has an odd flavor. And I wouldn't call it a West Coast IPA per se. I'm going to give this a 6. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. All right, sorry. Okay, I gotta tell you, I'm having real trouble with the turbidity of this beer. There is just stuff just hanging out on the bottom now.
I'm gonna have to take your word for that and look it up later, but okay.
Yeah, turbidity. It's turbid. There's just a lot of stuff on there, and it's all hanging down at the bottom. And unfiltered is one thing, but this is just too much. Here's the best thing I'll say about it. I'll start with what's best about it. The finish is very clean and very dry. I like that. And also the beer warmed up a little bit and it opened up and the booze never showed up. 7.8%, and it never got any astringency. Those are all the good points. But they're saying this is the best West Coast on the East Coast. And yeah, maybe that's marketing, but it's not. It's not piney enough. It's not dank enough. It's not aggressive enough. It might be 100 IBUs, but is it really? I don't know. I think that the Citra never showed up. The Simcoe was not playing well with the Chinook. I like Chinook, but I didn't get that this was properly. It wasn't properly executed here. And that being said, it's a fine beer. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The turbidity is problematic, and all these little bits. That's probably a little. That's got to be addressed. So I'm gonna go 5. It's right in the middle for me. Would I buy it again? Sure, I'd buy it again, but I'd probably not buy a 4-pack. If it was on tap, I'd buy it.
I'm getting a real vibe, mid 2000s IPA styles. There's a place, it's still there, Barley Creek, I think it's called, out towards the Poconos, and they used to make a beer called Super Hop, and it had this hand-drawn little hop with a cape. I mean, very rudimentary. And their IPA was it almost looked kind of like a brown ale. It had like a brownish hue to it, but it had kind of a similar hop finish as this. And the more I drink it, the more I get memories of that, where it almost tasted like somebody made a tea, which I guess is basically what brewing is, but it just kind of had like a thin, but very bitter and weird taste on the end. I couldn't have told you what hops were in this if you didn't give us at least a read on it. Not in a million years.
Yeah. I mean, and what I read is also on the can. Looking at the can, also, once again, the independent label, which, God, for something that's so poorly designed, in my opinion, it's really taken off. People really feel the need to do this. The rest of this can is well designed. I think this is a beautiful can and label. It's easy to read. It's clearly identifiable. It's got a nice design. It's a nicely designed can. Really is. Great label. Their website's really pretty too. All right, on to the beer number 3. And then for the people that showed up late, we'll give a quick rundown on what the big news was today. All right, number 3 is Sugar Coated Pony Kisses. And this is another IPA, but this one's only 5.8%.
Now I have had this one on draft as well.
Okay, there you go. So this will be good to see what you think. Man, nose on this one's better already. Oh, noses on this one is really good. Oh, I like this. This is, we all love the high octane IPAs, but how many pints of 8 to 9% can you actually have?
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I feel like that's a rhetorical question because I can do a lot of those. We've done them on this show. Sugar Coated Pony Kisses was created in order to satisfy your Hulin Jones without sacrificing flavor for a lower ABV. This 5.8% ABV ale was made with pale malt, Munich malt, flaked oats, lactose sugar, Falconer's Flight, Mosaic, and
Madarina.
Madarina. Thank you. Madarina Bavaria hops. It's a hop I really like. Even though I can't pronounce it, the culmination is a gentle yet firm sugar-coated pudding kisses at 55 IBUs. There you go. I really like that hops. Those hops to me taste like orange marmalade. The nose on this is great.
Yeah, nice. I got to come around off of what we were just drinking. It's a completely different animal.
We probably should have done this one first.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. How else are we gonna figure this shit out?
Never put me in charge.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? That's why I'm hosting tonight, not you. And you've got the good internet. I'm out here with the Lancaster Amish internet.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to do dry runs on that just so I can get the steps.
You know what? And YouTube keeps changing how this is done. I got to tell you, I feel like this should be much easier, but YouTube does not make it easy for us. It's just huge pain in the ass. Luckily, once you like set it up and go, you just don't have to do anything. If you're still in the live chat, if you switched up your beers, let us know. Some of the beers we've had tonight, Josh was drinking the Hopple Yours. I mentioned that earlier. I like the Hopple Yours. I thought it was well made. I also think it is not an IPA. I don't know what it is, but it's like the hops didn't show up in that one. But that was a well-made beer. It just wasn't to style, in my opinion. Nicole's drinking raw waffles. That sounds good. And Easy didn't tell us what he's drinking. Mike was drinking. Was he drinking the Voodoo? Yeah, I think he said that earlier. Voodoo Juicy IPA, which is okay. It's okay. The Voodoo Ranger. All right.
This is another great. I don't know if my camera's going to do it justice. On my screen, it looks a little less nice and orange, but really good color on this. Another good head retention. Kind of looks like it has a little bit more body than that Sam Adams that we drank earlier. Looks the part. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, the look on this one is great. It does have a big rocky head. I mean, look at that. That's fantastic. I love that.
It's got the high top fade, the Kwame.
Easy Pretzel is drinking TB12 electrolytes because everything has to be Tom Brady all the time. God help us.
Ooh, the Scientology of health.
God, that's a good joke. Mike is drinking Surprise. It's another IPA by St. Boniface, which is a great name for a beer. It has the hops in that are Vic's Secret and Ella. I feel like Vic's Secret is the hop that everyone's really into right now, and by fall, gone. Everyone's gonna be moving on to something else.
That and Idaho 7.
Ooh, good call. Good call. Idaho 7 has been hot for a little while. I agree. What you need to understand is like what the next hop is going to be. It's always hard to kind of figure that out.
I like Idaho 7 because it sounds like a gang of people that just go around and strangle people or something. It's the Idaho 7.
I feel like it makes it sound like you're hopping your beer with potatoes. I don't know.
Or that.
Or like, yeah. I mean, what do they have in Idaho besides potatoes? Meth? I don't know.
Couple Rite Aids, I know that.
Well, you would. All right. God, this is really good. This is a much better beer than the other one. I really like this. It does have that orange marmalade flavor that comes from the Bavaria hops. Those are really good. The Falconer's Flight and the Mosaic are showing up a little bit. Man, the nose on this is great. It's a little bit velvety in the mouthfeel. This one's got a whole lot more flavor and is more identifiable and more approachable and more interesting and deeper and more complex than the other one. This is a damn fine beer. I really like it.
Yeah, my palate's finally starting to adjust back into it now that I'm getting a little bit more. And I think you're right. Smooth. Marmalade. I'm glad you said that because I'm terrible at identifying smells and tastes. That's spot on. Really good.
Yeah, it's got a ton of orange marmalade in this one. And the rocky head on this is just the head retention. I don't know if you're picking this up. It's just fantastic. This is going to lace so well. It's got great body.
See, that's why you're supposed to use a proper pint glass so you get the nice
Yeah, I'm getting big chunks of rocky head. This is good. Really like this. God, this beer is fantastic.
Big chunks of rocky head sounds like every Philadelphia bro's wet dream. Well, we've broken them again, everybody.
Do we have to play Eye of the Tiger during that, or no?
I think we'll go Rocky IV and go Hearts on Fire by John Parr.
Does that count as yacht rock?
No.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Before we rate this beer, real quick to throw it back out there, we're hosting a live event, and it's us and Stouts and Stilettos. We're gonna have the co-founder of Untapped, you know, that app you use all the time to check in your beers. The guy that made that is coming to Harrisburg. He's gonna talk during Harrisburg Beer Week with us. We're gonna have Tierney from Stouts and Stilettos, Jeff Kupko, friend of the show, on a panel with us. And we're going to do it live. And you can buy a ticket to it. It's $10. All the money goes to the Harrisburg River Rescue. It's $10 to help a good cause. And then you come and drink some free beer and you hang out with us who like to talk and drink beer. And maybe we'll learn a few things. I promise you we'll have a good time. And you'll do some good by raising some money for a good cause. Come hang out with us. It's at Startup Harrisburg, and we're going to talk about the technological startup. I mean, Ed, you made a great point there. It's a startup. We're going to be at a startup talking about starting up a what is the social media platform within craft beer, Untapped. And we're going to talk about other things within social media and craft beer. I put the link in the show notes. You're going to see the link 1,000 times on Twitter. Buy your ticket. Look, IFS costs you nothing. You download our podcast. You watch us here for free. You want to support IFS. You want to be a good listener or a good friend. Come to our live event and give $10 to the Harrisburg River Rescue, and we'll love you forever for it.
There is a chance I will have a live open microphone at this event. I just like to say that should be worth the price of admission right there.
It should.
But there's going to be beer. There'll be laughs. There's going to be some good educational stuff. I think it's going to be a fun, laid back, really cool experience for everybody. And I really hope we get a lot of people there for it.
I hope so too. So, you should come and you should bring all of your friends. $10. It's cheap. Come on down. We'll have a great time. It's from, I think, 3 to 5. And then afterwards, look, we're gonna be drinking beers again. I'm gonna probably stay downtown all night. By the way, Ed, I'm crashing at your house that night. And
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm drinking as close to the hospital as possible.
we're gonna stay out drinking all night. Come hang out with IFS. It's gonna be Dave, Ed, and I, and a bunch of our friends. We'd love to have you. Please come hang out with us. We think it'll be a good time. And with that, I gotta rate this beer. All right.
You rate it first.
I'll go first. Okay. Just to put it back out there, sugar coated pony kisses. India Pale Ale.
Could you have a more Philly name? Sugar Coated Pony Kisses. Gonna go over to Newark.
Yeah,
you ride the pony.
It is a cute name. I'll say this: my sister, she had a boyfriend that she went to go see the pony races with, and she didn't really think it was great that these horses were out riding jockeys and being whipped around. And the way she justified it for herself that that this was okay was that he told her that after they're done running, the jockeys give them sugar cubes and hugs. And she was like, like, yeah, no. The ones that lose get turned to glue. So that's not really how it works. That being said, sugar coated pony kisses is not glue. This is a winning beer, and I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this one a 7.5. I really liked it. I thought it was very good. I think that the ways it could improve is if the nose was a little bit better. The finish could be a little bit longer, but I like the body and I really like the flavor. That orange marmalade is coming through really nicely. It builds 5.8%, never shows up. It's good beer. I like it. 7.5.
I'm right there with you. It took me a minute to get acclimated to it coming off the last beer, but I love the color, love the presentation. I did have it on tap, and I think that helps it aerate a little bit more, so it might make it a little smoother, a little more drinkable. But that said, it's not bad. The whole time I was thinking 7, so that's what I'm going to give it. I would say seek it out. I also have had the double IPA from these guys. It is really good. I thought that was really good. So, it's good that they're in the area now, and I'd say seek them out and give them a try. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, I now I need to try the double IPA. I think this is the one you want to check out and try. Sugar coated pony kisses, very good. Also, Nicole is mentioning in the chat that there's going to be a Susquehanna Girls Pint Out event during Harrisburg Beer Week. So all you ladies who don't watch this show, you should go. But all the men who do watch this show, you should tell your ladies and your friends, your wives, your girlfriends to go to that. It'll be a good time. And that is Friday. Oh, sorry, that's a different issue. Untapped is looking to put together an event after the sit down that we have from 3 to 5. So hopefully there'll be something for us to go to afterwards. We'll all be there. So come to the live show, $10, link in the show notes, link on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at Bearcat on Beer, at Ed Grohl, at Easy Pretzel, at IFS_podcast. Anything else, Ed, for the good of the show?
No, I'm glad that we got to drink these 3 beers. I'm probably going to be enjoying this Sam Adams, what I have left of it, after we're done here. But yeah, the event's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited that we're actually doing an event. That's big for us, just, the 3, sometimes 4 of us. So looking forward to that. I hope we can pack the house. And I thank everybody who listens, and hopefully everyone shows up and we have a great freaking time. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Hey, for everyone that showed up in the chat tonight, thank you. Great talking with you. Everyone who watches and listens to the show, thank you. New episode coming soon. Subscribe to the IFS podcast. Ed's got to finish his edits. Once those are done, we're going to be loading it up. Joel Codner from West Bay.
West Palm.
West Palm. Right. Sorry. Did I say West Bay?
You did say. I don't even know where the fuck West Bay is.
West Bay is a trailer park in Delaware. Don't even ask me to start.
What?
Yes. West Palm Brewing Company in Florida. He was a guest on the show. He was fantastic. Great show. Subscribe to It's Friday Somewhere with your favorite podcast client. And and I'm telling you, it's a great show. Ed, finish editing. With that, good night.
Okay, it's very threatening. I'll do it.
Yeah, get it done. Get it done. All right, I'm gonna hit stop.